Hello everybody, welcome back to the Escentual Al. Erin here to make another cold process soap. We are almost done with our custom order for the Christmas soaps. Today we are making one of my absolute favorites. Some of you may recognize this scent from a soap that I made last year that I called Jingle Bells. It is going to be made with the Applejack peel fragrance from Brambleberry. There is another one. I think I have the bottle sitting here somewhere that is very similar, not quite the same, but similar, and that is the Apple Pie Fragrance Oil from Crafter Choice. You can get this from Wholesale Supplies Plus, but this is the one that I am using today. I will put the fragrance notes up on the screen so that you can give those a gander. You guys, this smells so very good. If you like the smell of apple cider, you're going to love this fragrance. Now, one thing about this fragrance oil is that it does, if you can see, I apologize for my dirty gloves, I have been making soap, but there is 0.3% vanillin in this, so it discolors very, 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 very lightly. So it will turn a creamy tan color, just very, 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 very light discoloration. But that is not going to be an issue in this case. So my plan is the base is going to be colored with Shimmer Gold Mica from Nurture Soap. This is probably my favorite real gold color mica. It is so shimmery and so pretty. It is different than the Maya Gold, which is this one. This one is quite a bit darker, but I want to go for a lighter gold today. And I'm going to try something a little bit different. In these two itty bitty containers here, I have some Alpine Green Mica from Nurture Soap dispersed in some of our base oils, and some Ruby Red Mica also dispersed in some of our base oils. Now, I have these in such little containers because I want to try to do a drop swirl with both of these colors, but I want a very, very, very small drop swirl. We'll see how that turns out. So, let's see here. I don't think I have anything else that I want to talk about. I want to give these dispersed oils, dispersed mica in this oil, a little bit of a stir to make sure everything is all good and incorporated there. And I don't think I have anything else to talk about for this video specifically, so let's just jump right into the making of this soap. Alrighty, so the mix-in is all done. I'm just going to give everything a quick mix with a spatula to make sure that I scrape the bottoms and the sides really well. Make sure everything is good and colored. And I just spilled soap everywhere because, as you guys know, I can't do anything without making a mess. Oh boy. Alright, that's going to have to be good enough for now. And for these small little containers, these guys, they colored it up beautifully. I do want to give those a quick swirl as well because that stick blender fits perfectly into these little containers. And I just want to make sure that it got all the way to the bottom and all the way to the sides because you can't really do much swirling around with the head of the stick blender. But isn't that gorgeous? It's so pretty. I love, love, love these two micas. Really all three of them. They're just gorgeous. And I thought that they would go really well together. Now you can see we're at a pretty good consistency right now. It's a little thick but not too much. So now is the perfect time to try to pour before everything gets too thick. Let me see, is that a good angle? I think so. So I am just going to pour some of this base gold in. Now, going to go in with a little bit of green, and of course it is thickening to the point that I'm not really going to get a drop swirl. I may go in with a dowel. I'm going in with the red. I think these colors are going to look marvelous together. Okay. I'm going to have to encourage this gold to come out. That's fine. Just get some of that in there. Let's pack it down. Put some more of this gold because there's quite a bit. Now, I have had this fragrance in particular accelerate trace very quickly multiple times. I don't believe that it says that it does that. It does not. It says that it behaves well in cold process soap. Well, every single time that I have used this fragrance oil, I have had the opposite result. Not that it super disbehaves. I am going to go in with my dowel, by the way. Not that it super duper disbehaves or misbehaves, I should say, but it has accelerated every single time that I have used it. Usually not horribly. It's nothing that can't be worked with, but it is something to note. Okay, that's all the swirling that I am going to do. I don't want to muddle the colors up too badly. Now, before this sets up anymore, I'm going to wipe off my glove first, but I'm going to bang this on the floor. Alrighty, got that good and banged down. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape the rest of this gold and the red and the green on top. See if we can't do something with that. The green has thickened up quite a bit. For whatever reason, it has set up a lot more than the gold or the red, but not the end of the world. Even though this fragrance doesn't behave very well, despite the fragrance notes saying that it does, I absolutely love this fragrance. It is definitely one of my favorites to use around Christmas time. Now, I am going to swirl a little bit, I think, and then I'll bang it down and see if I can get it to settle some. I may just go in with more gold and cover some of this up anyway, but I thought I would give it a try. All right, bang down one more time. Alrighty. So, well, there went whatever that was. Okay, so this isn't too bad, and yes, I know my mold is dirty. That's because I've been making soap like a mad person, and I didn't want to wash the wooden base of this because it does tend to warp the wood a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to go in and sprinkle this with a little bit of this gold shimmer mica. Actually, that's Maya gold, but I think that will work pretty good. Give us some contrast there. So this is the Maya gold, and I am just going to sprinkle this on top. Not a whole lot, because I don't want to completely cover the colors. So there's that. And now I'm going to spritz with rubbing alcohol. If you're new to my channel, I do this to every sort of mica sprinkle or drizzle that I do on any soap because it helps lock the mica to the soap instead of running off on your finger or rubbing off on your finger. I'm going to scrape the scraps of this. There's not very much left into a mold I have set aside. All right, let's bring you all in for a close-up. So this is what the top looks like. Some nice texture there. The red and some of the base gold and that green is coming on through. I think that Maya gold on top is really popping. I think this looks pretty good. I'm excited to see what the inside looks like. But that's all for this portion of the video. I apologize that it was a little bit haphazard. That's just how things have been going for me lately. I'm hoping that the next one will turn out a little bit better. We'll have to see. But I will see you all for the cut. Alrighty, it's been about 5 hours since we made the Applejack peel soap. I'm sorry that I'm speaking a little bit quieter. I'll probably raise the volume for this part of the video because I don't want to talk much louder than this because it's 4 a.m. on a Monday and I don't have to work today, and I wanted to get these soaps cut because they are... Sorry that shakes the camera, but I'm just trying to prove a point. These are hard, they're ready to be cut, and I wanted to go ahead and get that done and out of the way. But I want to show you all what this looks like. I'm super happy with this. So here's the outside, not just a whole terrible lot going on, but you can see some red and you can see some green. And it looks like there are no air bubbles, at least on the outside. And then of course there is that beautiful top. At first I wasn't sure how it was gonna look, but now that it has sat and the mica, again, since I sprayed it with the rubbing alcohol, you can see I'm rubbing it and very little comes off on my fingers. If I hadn't done that, the mica would just be all over my hand right now. But I'm really excited with how this one turned out, and I'm super interested to see what the middle looks like. Let me make sure that this is good and tight, and it is. And I apologize too if you can hear wind in this video because it is sort of, it's not really storming, but it has been raining, and the wind is blowing really, really, really hard right now. But let's go ahead and cut. So here is the back of the bar, and then there is the inside. You guys, I'm in love. I love it. That's exactly what I wanted. I want a very, very thin drop swirl of the red and the green, and I think that that turned out marvelously. And I don't know if you can see, but you still get quite a bit of that shimmer gold mica that still comes through. It doesn't turn completely matte, and then once this gets wet, it'll be even more glimmery. And then there is the top. I mentioned in the peppermint stick video where the top looked kind of funky, but a lot of times if you're unhappy with how a top looks at a whole, I'm not going to say this as a general rule, but in my experience, if I'm not super happy with the top, I thought that it could be better or anything like that, once I cut into it and had the individual bars, I actually ended up really liking it. And I really like that spatter of the Maya gold on top, that darker gold. Obsessed. Let's cut some more. And you guys, this smells so good. This is just an absolutely delightful fragrance oil. Highly recommend the Applejack peel and or the, let's see, what is it called? Apple pie fragrance oil, of course. So there's one side and the other. And I did have to go in with a dowel on this one because, as I mentioned, even though the fragrance notes say that this behaves well in co-processed soap, it has always accelerated for me without exception. No matter what my water content is, no matter what temperature I soap at, it doesn't matter. It always accelerates for me. But I'm not mad about it. I didn't expect to have to do a hanger swirl, but I'm not mad at how it came out. So there's one side and the other, and the top. It's still just a little bit warm, just for curiosity's sake. If I can find my heat gun. It's around here somewhere, I think. Da-dum-da-dum. Well, I thought that it was. This table is a mess, you guys. But now that I'm done with the soap, I should be able to clear this table, and I don't see my heat gun anywhere. I sat it down and I don't know what I did with it. Well, shoot. Oh, I found it. Okay, just for curiosity's sake. So the soap is still at 85 degrees Fahrenheit inside. So it hasn't even completely cooled down to room temperature yet, but it is still plenty hard to cut. I'm not getting any drag marks. The soap isn't squishing, and the outside is nice and firm. So there's one side. I absolutely love the subtle swirl, and you can maybe see all of the shimmer in here. I know it's not the best in this lighting, but I'm telling you, it's super duper shimmery. It's gonna look really nice when it's wet. There's a little bit of an air bubble there. I'm not surprised. You can tell that's where I swirled with the dowel, but it's not awful. There's the top. So there's one side and the other and the top. I almost did this portion of the video silently, and thought that I would insert a voiceover. But then I remembered that I can just raise the volume while I'm editing. So if I need to do that, I will. I love how it's just a very tiny bead of red and a little bit more green. Love it. Then there is that top with that shimmery Maya gold. That is everything. So there's one side and the other. Trying to make sure that it's all good and in focus. There's the top. We bring this in a little bit closer so you guys can see. Love it. It smells so good in here. It smells like Christmas and apple cider and all things yummy and wonderful. So there's one side. Really like the swirl in that one. The other. Ooh, that red coming through the top. So there's one side and the other. Huh, there's almost no green in that one. The top. And this is the final cut where we will cut off just a little piece at the end to even it up. And we'll save that piece for myself, or it will go to a sample. And this is the final bar. So that is all that I have for this video. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on those notifications so you never miss one of my uploads. Please tell me what you think about this soap in the comments below. Do you love this? Do you hate it? What do you think about it? I would just love to hear what you have to say about it. I think it's really nice and Christmassy, almost like an old Christmassy, if that makes any sense. But let me know what you think. I love hearing from you guys. Just say hello. It makes my day when I hear from you all. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.